What is your vision for the future? Where are you going? At the end of your life, will you have accomplished everything you've dreamed for yourself? Have you stopped dreaming? Welcome to Inner Image. This is a podcast where we talk about all things Proverbs 31. We don't focus on what she does. We do, however, focus on who she is, because what she does is merely a reflection of who she is. I'm your host, Andrea John, and today we are going to talk about vision. Now, if you're returning, you know that we've talked about vision. We had Rachel Landon, the amazing Rachel, on the podcast with us, and we talked about vision, and it was an amazing episode. But today, I wanted to take a little bit of a different spin, and I just wanted to have a conversation with you, which is why we have a little bit of a different setting. And I did record this earlier. And for some reason, after all of that, it was so amazing. I got emotional. It was quite an experience. I couldn't find the recording. I don't know where it went. So here I am again. Hopefully, I can recreate what I did. And hopefully, it's better than it was the first time. But I have this chair here. Let me make room for you because I would love for you to sit with me for us to have a conversation. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that this is the first video or podcast episode that you are watching or listening to, because I truly believe that what I'm going to share with you today is going to change your life. And I don't mean that in the most grandiose way. I mean that in the most real life kind of way. If you open your heart, you will experience a transformation. Have you ever heard people tell their supernatural encounters with God? Maybe they had this wow moment with God that absolutely transformed their life. God encountered them, they encountered God, they had this supernatural experience that absolutely marked their life. And you've always thought, I want that. I don't have that. I've never experienced it. Maybe that's why my life hasn't changed, because I haven't had one of those moments. It hasn't happened to me. Well, let me tell you what I think. If you keep waiting for it to happen to you or for you, you're waiting for something that you have no control over, which means that will always be a place of an excuse, of blame. You have no control over that. So, how can I change my life if I don't get to have that amazing experience and opportunity? And I agree with you on that. I it's been one of my struggles. Like, I had this encounter with God in 2016 in my kitchen that absolutely wrecked and changed my life in the best way possible. And I've been on that journey ever since. But I don't want people to think they can't have the kind of transformation I've had simply because they don't have that encounter. Can't manufacture that kind of encounter with God. That's insane. But I want you to know that you are made in the image and likeness of God. If you've been here for a while, you know I will say that over and over till I'm blue in the face, because that is something that I absolutely know to be true. And if you are made in the image and likeness of God, that means every attribute and characteristic that God possesses, you possess. Sure, maybe I'm not doing the best of a job at reflecting those characteristics and attributes, but I can be. It's in there, it's within me. I just have to focus on it. I need to reflect it. I need to look at it. I need to know it. And I'm not going to talk about conviction today, but that is something that came to me this weekend that I broke down a little bit, and I'll bring it to you guys at some point. Today, I want to talk to you about vision because I was at a work conference this weekend and God spoke to me so much. You heard that correctly. I was at a work conference for days and God spoke to me. I mean, I got emotional a couple of times. I was even messaging with my brother. I got emotional talking to him about it. And I realized that I was limiting myself because I was lacking vision. In Proverbs 29:18, it says that without vision, people perish. So, what does that mean? If I don't have vision, I won't live. I will die. I will perish. So, then the opposite is true. If I have vision, I will live. Do you want to live? I don't mean just going through the motions. I don't mean just like waking up and doing the same old thing, like, yes, I got to do this, I got to do that. No, no, no. I'm talking about living, living with joy and peace and abundance, all the things that Jesus promised us. Wake up every day excited. Sure, life has trials and tribulations. We're going to talk about that. I'm not denying that. Trust me, I have walked through hell more times than I care to admit. Some of it was my own doing, some of it was not. Life happens. But I want to go towards my dream. And the only reason I'm not living the vision that I have for my life that now I finally this weekend have established is because I didn't have the vision. I hadn't taken the time to really think about it. So in Proverbs, right, 29:18 again, it says, without vision, people perish. So in order to live, we need to have vision. And in Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write the vision plainly. Write it clearly. Write it in detail, because if you write it, those who write it down will run after it. Have you been running? If you're like me, if you're listening to this, you probably have. You're doing all the things, you're working all the things, you're doing your best, you're living the life that you feel God wants for you. You're trying to do it all. You're running because you're not lazy. You're trying to live your life for God. You're a mom, you're a daughter, you're an entrepreneur, you're working, you're doing all the things. You work in church, you have a ministry. You're not lazy. You've been running hard. But have you been running in circles? Have you been spotting the same tree? Didn't I just pass that tree? Why am I here again? I'm trying to get somewhere. But that's the thing. Where is somewhere? Where am I going? Because if I don't know where I'm going, the likelihood I'm going to see that same tree again is really high. It's so high. If we look in Genesis 1 and 2, right? Genesis 1 and 2 tells us the story of creation. God had vision. He was a visionary for sure. And you know what's beautiful about I studied the creation story in like very deeply, probably for about 5 years, I would say. What's interesting about the creation story is that oftentimes, especially in our culture, we we act and live like we were created for earth. We're the last thing of creation because when we read the account, we see that humans came last. But humans didn't come last because God was creating and creating and creating, and then, oh, he had this idea, let's create humans. No, no, no. If you read the story and you see the purpose and intention God had, God created the world and the universe for us, for me and for you. Everything we see on this planet and outside this planet, the sun, the moon, the stars, the entire universe, it is for us. He created it as a home for you and I to live in and to commune with him. It's so powerful when you realize that, because in today's culture, oftentimes it almost makes it sound like we as humans are ruining the earth. And yes, in some ways we need to take care of earth. I do believe it. I try my best to do that. But the reality is earth was created for us. And if we don't exist on this earth, there is absolutely no reason for earth to exist, because God created the earth for us to have a home. It's very powerful when you realize that. So think about that. God had such vision that he thought about human beings. I want to make man in our likeness and image. He wants to have a relationship with us. He wants to walk with us throughout the day. He wants to commune with us. So then he had to plan, he had to think, he had this vision, this dream, this imagination, and he imagined what this earth would look like so that he had a place for us to live with him. And he separated the light and the darkness. And then he kept going, and each day he did something to make this earth habitable for you and for me. He imagined every step of the way with intention and with purpose. But today, I want to talk about vision. I want to talk about imagination. Because if we don't have imagination, we will perish. If we don't have vision, we won't live. And if we don't write it down, we're going to run aimlessly because we won't know where we're going. So today we're going to write it down. And if you're driving in a car, maybe you're walking or running, because I listen to pods while I'm on the go all the time. That's fine. Keep listening. I don't want you to stop. But I do want you at some point to grab a pen and paper. And I want you to come back. And I want you to do an exercise that we're going to do today. So you're going to need a pen and paper. Go ahead and grab yourself one. If you can't right now, just keep listening and then come back and do this exercise with intentionality. We're going to dive into Hebrews 12, but I want to go through this exercise first. And I really want you to open up your heart, your mind, your entire being to God right now. So I want you to be comfortable. I mean, if you're sitting at a table right now, that's totally cool. If you're sitting on your couch, if you're on your bed, wherever you are right now, I want you to be comfy. So come and join me because we're about to meet with God. And I want you to be 100% present in this space. I guarantee you, you will meet with God. This is not about me. I'm going to walk you through the exercise. I'm merely your guide. I am not the one that you want to hear from. I am not the one who's going to help you figure out what your vision is. God's going to do that with you today. It's going to be a little bit of a different podcast episode. You know, I'm a teacher. I love to teach. But I'm also someone who believes in the supernatural. I also believe that God is here and he's there with you right now. What divides us right now is merely physical space, but in the spirit, we can be one. It's absolutely beautiful. So I want you to be comfortable because as we go through this exercise, we're going to have our eyes closed. And I'm going to go through this exercise with you as well. You're not going to do this alone. I'm going with you. And I'm going to be your guide. But at some point, as we go through this, I'm going to leave you. And I'm going to keep going, but I'm not going to articulate with words what I'm seeing because I don't want my vision to taint your vision. I want this to be your vision. This is a very powerful exercise. When I had Rachel on, Rachel mentioned it on her episode. We do have it recorded on a YouTube channel. My husband did it. And the last, when I recorded at lunchtime, I wasn't planning on doing this, but it just happened. And it was a very powerful moment for me here in my studio. And I feel like God really wants this. And I don't know why I've had so much tech trouble today, but I have, and I don't care. I will find a way to finish this episode because I do believe wholeheartedly that it has the potential to change your life if you open up your heart to it. All right. So we're going to go on a trip right now, and we're going to use imagination. As kids naturally have imagination, believe in Santa Claus and all this stuff. It's so easy to have them believe. They create imaginary worlds, and they have toys and action figures and dolls that they create these whole worlds for. But as adults, we teach them that imagination isn't real, and it's not real, but it can become real. Everything that exists today began with imagination. God has an imagination. He imagined me. He imagined you. He imagined every person in this world, and he intricately designed us in his image and likeness. He wanted to build us a home where he could walk and talk with us. So he created earth. He imagined what that would look like. The sun, the moon, the water, the seas, the lakes, the dry land, the islands, the mountains. He made a remarkably beautiful place for us to live. It all started in his imagination. He dreamed it, he imagined it, and then he built it with purpose and intention. iPhone. It was imagined first. It was a thought in the mind. Rocket ships, cars, homes, boats, airplanes, all imagined. Without the imagination, there is no reality. It all starts with imagination. You may have no idea what your vision for the future is, but what we're about to do is an exercise that's not about you figuring out what your vision for the future is. We're going to help uncover and reveal what God's imagination and dream is for you. What is God's vision for your life? Because whatever it is that you see in this exercise doesn't come from you. It comes from God. Do you want to know how I know that? Because we're about to submit our lives to God. We're about to surrender. We're about to pray. We're about to lay everything down and ask God to lead us as we enter in to his presence. And he is a good God, and he is faithful. And he is going to answer our prayer and lead us into a holy place where we can meet with him. Because that's why he designed us. He wants to meet with us and talk with us, commune with us. And as I read in Ephesians this morning, you should head out and watch that video from this morning, Ephesians 2. God wants to work with us. He wants to partner with us. It's not our work, it's his work. We're just partnering with him. It's not my vision, it's his vision. I'm just opening up the eyes of my heart so that I can see his vision, so that as I run, I know exactly where I'm going. I'm not running aimlessly throughout this world. That's exhausting, confusing, and probably winds up being a lot harder than it needs to be. So we're going to just check in the time, because now I'm limited on time since I already used up the time that I was going to record this. So we're going to go through this exercise, and I just want you to be open-hearted. So I want you to go ahead and get comfy. If you have to lay down, recline back, sit down, whatever it is that you need to do. Close your eyes. I'll probably have my eyes closed a good chunk of this as well. And I'm going to start off with a prayer, and then I'll be your guide. Okay, I'll walk you through it as much as possible, and we'll go from there. It'll all make sense. God, I am amazed by you. Every single day you blow me away. The fact that I get to live this life alongside you and with you, and just to know that it doesn't matter who I'm around, whether I'm physically alone. I'm never alone. You are with me all the time. And my sister is here with me too. She may not be here physically, but she's here with me in spirit. And I pray for us, Father. I pray for us right now that we may come into alignment with your purpose, with your will, with your heart, with your mind, with your spirit. We surrender our entire being to you, recognizing that nothing we have is of us. It all comes from you. You are the author and consumer of our faith. So we lay down everything before you, and we ask that you lead us in this moment. And may every word I speak and everything I do as I lead my sister through this be absolutely surrendered to your spirit. Guide my words, give me wisdom, and allow me to lead my sister straight to you. Because I don't have the answers to her life. I know you do. And all I want to do is guide her to you so that you can give her the answers. In Jesus' name, amen. Keep your eyes closed. The exercise that we're about to go through will use our imagination. But I don't want you to see imagination as something that's pretend. We are not playing pretend. We are using our imagination to step into the spirit right now with intention and with purpose surrendered to God so that God can speak to us right now. I've been doing this exercise for several years, and I can do it with my eyes open. But to help us focus, having our eyes closed is very helpful. So with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine that there is this huge cross in front of you. It's made of wood, and it's probably about 100 feet in front of you. Close enough for you to see it. It looks massive, and it's just, I don't know, there's something special about that cross. Look at the cross, though. On the right side and on the left side, on the horizontal plane, there's these, it looks like nails, kind of like hooks. And it looks like, can I touch it? I think I can, but I'm too far away right now. So just want you to watch yourself using your imagination. Walk closer and closer to this cross. I want you to be able to touch the cross. And as you walk closer to it, I want you to remember that it was this device that gave Jesus the opportunity to lay his life down so that you and I can have relationship with God freely, ending the power of sin and death over our lives, giving us the ability to choose life over death. Man, there's something about this cross. Do you see the hook? Look up at the hook. I want you to reach for it. You can touch it. It's not so high you can't touch it. I want you to touch the hook. If you have to get on your tippy toes, get on your tippy toes. But I want you to touch the hook. Touch the one on the right. And then head over to the one on the left. I want you to touch it. Man, Jesus's hands were pierced. Right here. On a device like this. He endured it all because he had his eyes set on the joy before him. I want to be able to do that like Jesus did. Life is hard. You probably have to-dos, action items, things that are concerning to you. Bills are mounting. Where am I going to get money to pay for this? Oh, my family member is sick. Oh, I'm struggling with my job, struggling with my relationships. It's all this stuff probably running through your mind. Especially women, we have this, we carry a lot. We carry a lot. A lot of these things are tied to relationships, and we care so much about our relationships. But it gets heavy. It gets heavy and it gets hard. And it's difficult. It's difficult to see a future filled with hope and light and sunshine when you're being held down, bogged down by all the trials. This backpack's just so heavy. We're carrying way too much stuff. And I'm sure as I'm saying that, your mind is just thinking about all these things that you got to do. Got to get back to work. Got to cook dinner later. I got to pick up my kid. I got to take them to this. I got to do that. I got to, there's a lot of gotta go do this. Got to go do that. As your mind is thinking about all those things, I want you to pray to God, and I want you to ask Him to help you figure out, what do you need to lay down at His feet today so that your heart can be open to see the vision that He has for you, the dream that He has for you? What has He imagined for you? We can't have any hindrances. We don't want to have the wrong filters on. We don't want to have boulders in front of us that blocks our view from the beauty God has for us. So let's ask God, what do I need to lay at your feet today so that I can enter into your presence unhindered, inhibited, to meet with you, to see you? And I want you to hold your hands out in front of you, because those things are going to find their way into your hands. God's just going to pick them up off your back, the things you've been carrying that we need to remove. He's going to put them in your hands today. May not be everything, but it's just enough so that you can see His vision for your life. I want you to open the eyes of your heart, and I want you to look at your hands. Do you see the things that God put in your hands that you need to let go of today, to surrender? What do you see? What do you need to let go of today? Look at your hands, and now look at those hooks. And it's time to let go. Let go of everything. Whether you lay it at the foot of the cross, whether you hang it on the hook, whether you throw it up over the cross, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. You don't need to carry it anymore. We're going to have some awkward silence today in the podcast, but it's because I want you to spend these moments with God. Do you feel how much lighter you are? How relieved you are? You don't have to carry it anymore. God's so good. And it's amazing how as soon as you lay it down or you hang it up, it starts to disappear. like it never existed, because God took it. Now look at the right hand of the cross. In that space underneath where that hook is, there's a door. Do you see the door? It's like a magic door. What does the door look like? Do you see the handle? There's no lock on that door. I guarantee you there's no lock on that door. That door is always available for you. The doorknob may be on the left or the right for you, may be different. But one thing I can guarantee you is that whatever is on the other side of that door is going to blow your mind. I want you to reach for that doorknob because we're about to go into the same place together. But what I see may be different from what you see. But I'll guide you in, and then at some point, I'm going to leave you. I'll leave the music running, and I want you to have your moment with God intimately. Put your hand on the doorknob, turn it, and push it open. Out in front of you is this incredible, vibrant field. There's grass, but there's flowers everywhere of all different colors, all different kinds of flowers, almost like there was no rhyme or reason, but somehow this mix of flowers just looks incredibly majestic, peaceful. And they're swaying, almost like they're dancing. And it's so incredibly bright, but I'm not squinting. It's like there's this clarity I've never seen before. Do you see it? What do you see? Do you see the grass? Do you see the green? Do you see the flowers? Off in the distance, definitely walking distance. Notice this river. It's so blue. I can hear it. It's beautiful. The colors are so vibrant. And as I look on the other side of the river, there he is. Do you see him? He's been waiting. He's waiting. He was waiting because I see him waiting for me, and he's got this smile on his face. There's no rush. There's this longing. Just looking around, and the sky is so blue, and the trees are almost like they're alive. Take a deep breath. What does it smell like? What do you taste? What do you feel? What do you sense? Freedom, peace, joy. I see these trails, all different trails. I see things all in the background. These trails lead to all these places. That's where I can't take you beyond this point because that's your vision. That's your encounter. But what I can do is I can lead you to Jesus. I can lead you to him. You know that field? We're going to walk through that field because, man, it's enticing me. I don't even want to go through the trail. I want to walk through these beautiful flowers, through the grass. I just want to take it in. I just want to experience it. Let's start heading there. Come on, let's go. I want you to walk through the field to the edge of the river. Jesus is on the other side, but don't worry because you can get to him. There's so many different ways. That's the amazing thing about this beautiful world that we're in at the moment. My river has this fallen tree that serves as a bridge. I love that tree. I have sat with Jesus on that tree so many times. Most of the times, no words are being spoken. Just sit there and lean my head on his shoulder. There's been other times I cross the river, through the river, swim in the river. There's all these awesome, super vibrant fish and animals, and that's always a fun time. How are you going to get there? Explore. This is your moment with Jesus. Explore. But the goal right now is for you to get to Jesus. How are you going to get there? Do you see him leaning against the tree waiting for you with that smile on his face? Ah, he is amazing. There's a picnic table on the other side of the river where Jesus is. Maybe you hug him when you see him. Maybe you fall down and cry at his feet a little bit. Maybe you dance with him when you see him. Maybe he gives you a kiss on your forehead and tells you how much he loves you. Maybe you just hug him really long and tight, cry. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what he's been waiting for. And I want you to ask him, when he dreamed about you before the foundations of the world, what did he see? How did he design you? What did he have in mind? What was his heart for you? What's the vision? What's the dream? There's no limit. There's no perfect thing. There's no, this is what you need. It doesn't matter what Jesus speaks to you. Just listen. It doesn't matter what it is. But if you need help, I want you to start dreaming with Jesus. What does your life look like in 5 years? What did he dream for you in 5 years? What's his dream? What does he desire for you? In relationships? Do you have children? Where do you live? Not just the house, but the location. Do you have vehicles? Do you love to bicycle? What does your health look like? What's your occupation? What do you do every day? How's your relationship with God? I didn't ask you what you do today. I didn't ask you what your occupation is today. Don't limit that. Don't use that as a limitation for 5 years from now. Don't think about 5 years in a logical fashion. It's just an idea. I'm not asking you about the home you live in today, where it is, what car you drive today. Are you married today? Do you have kids today? It's not what I'm asking. It's not what you're asking Jesus. What does he see for you in 5 years? What does it look like? What are you seeing right now? But don't just take note of the physical things. How are you feeling when you see those things? What does it feel like? Take a deep breath in. What does it smell like? What do you hear? Do you hear laughter? Do you hear peace? Because you can hear peace too. Do you hear waves? Do you hear birds? What do you hear? What do you see? What do you feel physically, but also emotionally? All those things matter. Are you part of a church? Who's your village? Who's in your community? Do you volunteer? Do you travel the world on missions? Are you doing that thing you always said you wanted to do, but thought you could never do it? Nope. This is not about, stop thinking about all the reasons you can't. Money is not an issue here. We're not talking about money, whether you're capable. We're talking about vision, imagination, dreams. There's no limitation. Nothing's holding you back. I don't want to rush you through this. So as you have this conversation with Jesus, I want you to take your time. I'll have some music playing for a little bit. And if you finish quickly, you can just fast forward. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back together. We're going to get a pen and paper, and we're going to write down this vision. My prayer is that you had a beautiful time with Jesus, and whatever you needed from that you got. But for the purposes of this episode and what we're talking about today, I just pray that you took the time to get that vision, no matter what it looks like. Because like I said, it could look one way, like the way I see it is going to be different from you. That's okay. You and I were created with different purposes and callings. And what you need is what matters. But that vision is what's going to help you run. At least it gives you something to run towards, so you're not constantly going in those circles. Before I dive into Hebrews 12 for us to end today, I want to go into the In Her Image devotional. And in this season, as we go through these character traits, I really haven't stuck too much to the devotional because I'm trying to get different perspectives. I don't have all the answers. I don't claim to have all the answers. I will never have all the answers. So I love to get different perspectives, but the reason I wanted to touch on vision, as I mentioned, I was at the conference this weekend and realized how my vision was lacking and how it was limiting me and holding me back. And it did bring me back to In Her Image and the perspective of being visionary that I speak about. So it's on chapter 12. So here's the table of contents. We're going to go to day 12, and it's based on she covers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard, and that's from Proverbs 31:16. Growing up, being taught that we needed to be the Proverbs 31 woman, and the focus being what she did, you read things like this and what am I supposed to do? Go buy some property? Am I supposed to make wine? Like, what am I supposed to do? Obviously, we know that's not the case, but then what do we take from this? Like, what am I supposed to learn from this? When you look at it with the eyes of, what is this telling me about who she is? Everything changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the In Her Walk as part of the devotional because it really lays out exactly what I want your focus to be on with the vision that you now have that Jesus gave you. It says, the Proverbs 31 woman is discerning and strategic. This verse gives us a glimpse into her financial and practical wisdom. She doesn't act impulsively. She considers a field. She evaluates its potential and makes a thoughtful investment. Her decision is not about ownership for its own sake, but for growth, sustainability, and provision. Once she buys the field, she doesn't stop there. She plants a vineyard. She's showing vision for the future. Vineyards take time and care before yielding fruit. Her actions reveal patience, planning, and a commitment to lasting impact. This kind of stewardship speaks to more than land or money. It reflects how we manage everything God entrusts to us, such as our time, energy, finances, gifts, and relationships. Are we making decisions that reflect our values and honor God's purpose? In a world driven by instant results, this verse reminds us to be prayerful and purposeful. Vision requires faith. Wise investment involves both foresight and trust, believing that God will bring fruit at the right time. In the ancient world, a vineyard was a long-term investment. The Proverbs 31 woman models what it means to live with vision, to see potential where others see inconvenience, and to sow seeds today that will bless future generations. And I'm going to do the In His Image portion too here. God as creator is the perfect visionary, From the beginning, he shaped the world with intention, preparing it to support and sustain life. Nothing was created without purpose or foresight. Throughout Scripture, God provides not just for the moment, but for the future. He sends provision before need arises, speaks promises generations in advance, and works through seasons we do not yet see. His vision is eternal and yet deeply personal. To live in her image means to reflect that creative, forward-looking nature. We don't live only for today. We sow with purpose, build with wisdom, and trust that God will bring growth in his time. And then the verse that I have highlighted for the day is, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I feel like what I just read speaks to for itself, so I'm not going to belabor it. But one of the things this weekend that I realized is that my lack of vision for the future was holding me back from taking the necessary steps to actually accomplish it. My husband and I took the time on a 4-hour drive to envision our future. He envisioned his, I envisioned mine, and then we came together and envisioned ours as a couple. And it helps us to identify the necessary steps that we need to take there. We're headed toward the vision that God placed in our lives, and it gave us some direction. Hopefully it does the same for you. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Doesn't mean obstacles aren't going to get in the way. Things are going to try to hold you back. Doesn't mean it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Just because God gives you a vision doesn't mean it's going to magically happen. There's going to be no hurdles. Oh, there will be. I can promise you, you're going to have some. Why can I do that? Because Jesus promised peace that surpasses understanding, unspeakable joy, and an abundant life. But he also told us that we would have trials and tribulations in this world. That's a guaranteed. It doesn't matter, because the trials and tribulations of the world, we can still have peace, joy, love, patience, kindness, long-suffering. We're made in his image. We can overcome all of those obstacles. And I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. And we see it in Hebrews 12. Hebrews 12 says, therefore, since we have so great a cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let us also lay aside every encumbrance and the sin which so easily entangles us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him who has endured such hostility by sinners against himself, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. Do not grow weary as you run towards your vision. We are to live glory to glory, mountaintop to mountaintop. If it was easy to get to mountaintops, you don't think that everyone would climb mountains? It is beautiful up there. I have climbed a mountain, and I can tell you that it is one of the most majestic and glorious things that you can ever witness. But climbing it was one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my entire life. And I wasn't even at one of the tallest ones. So I want to get you to your mountaintop, to your vision, to your dream, to your oasis, to your utopia, to your heaven on earth, whatever it is that you call it. And I know I can guide you there. I have absolutely no doubt. But I also know it's not going to be easy, but his burden is light. His yoke is easy. Or is it his yoke is easy and his burden is light? So as I look here, Jesus is our example. What happens when we're walking or running towards our vision? Here it says, run with endurance the race that is set before us. So now you've got the vision. We're going to go get a run at it. We're going in the right direction. We're not going to see that tree anymore. But what happens when the path hasn't been paved, or there's a barrier, there's a huge boulder in the way? What am I going to do? How am I going to get over it? It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to climb it. You're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to go around. You're going to have to, there's a lot of ways to get over these obstacles, these trials. Some are easier than others. Some are trivial. Some are deep. But there's stuff we need to deal with. How are you going to stay motivated? How are you going to not grow weary? He says, look at Jesus. What did Jesus do? He set his eyes on the joy, saying that's how he endured the cross, despised shame, and is now seated at the right hand of the Father, because that was his joy. He had his eyes on the joy. He had his eyes on the vision, on the future. He saw what God designed. He saw what God had imagined. And he kept his eyes on that. That's where I'm going. That's the end result. Do I feel the pain of the nails going through my hands and feet? Yes. But I'm going to endure it with joy and peace inside of me, because I have my eyes set. I know where I'm going, and it's at the right hand of the Father. And at the end of this, all these humans that I've imagined and I've created, they're going to be able to have a relationship with me. That's all I've ever wanted. This suffering is worth it, and I'm going to get through it because I know where I'm going. Where are you going? Where are you going? Don't give up. Don't grow weary. Keep your eyes on the joy of that vision that you were given today. Don't ever lose sight of it. And that's why you have that pen and paper. Because before you do anything else, I want you to write down what you saw today, what you heard. What did you smell? What did you feel? Where did you go? What did Jesus say? How did you get to him? What did you have to let go of? What did God put in your hands to let go of? I want you to write it all down. Because remember, Habakkuk says, write it plainly. Write the vision plainly, because then you'll be able to run to it. Before, without that vision, you were at risk of perishing. But now you can live, really live. Jesus didn't come so you can die. I know we hear that verse all the time. We have to die to ourselves daily. But what we're dying to is the flesh. It's the dead stuff. It's the stuff that doesn't belong to us anymore. It's the stuff we picked up and carried that we're not supposed to carry. It's the stuff that hides the diamond. That's what we're supposed to die to. Jesus didn't die so we could die. He died so we could live. That's why he rose. That's why he ascended. Jesus didn't just raise from the dead, because there are people who have been risen from the dead. What sets him apart is that he ascended to the right hand of the Father. He didn't die a second time. He conquered sin and death and then said, adios, I'm going to heaven. And those who believe in me, I am in them and they are in me, and they are seated with me in heavenly places. I am going to give them my mind. They're going to have my mind, the mind of Christ. I'm leaving them my spirit so that they can have access to my mind and have it, so that they can remember my words and my teachings, so that they can be aligned with the heart of the Father and see what I see and know what I know. Read Ephesians. It is so powerful. I'm reading it now. If you go to my YouTube channel at Andrea John, you'll see that I'm reading Ephesians and walking through that. That's just beautiful if you want to head over there and join me there. I hope and I pray that you've opened your heart to what we went through today, because I know that if you do, I know that if you did, your life will never be the same. I have no doubt there is not one person I have walked through with this exercise whose life has not been changed. There is not one person who has gone through this exercise that did not have a personal encounter with God. You don't need me. You need Jesus. Everything that I share with you are things that changed my life, that he showed me. It doesn't come from me. It comes from him. I'm not the only person with this revelation. It may just be that I'm the only one you know that is sharing it. But trust me when I say there are others out there, because I've learned from those people. And I know it's not just those people. I know there's other people. And guess what? You know it now too. You've experienced it. And you can lead people to Jesus just as I have led you. It's a beautiful thing. Takes the weight off. It's not me. It's him. It's always about him. I know this was a longer episode. I know we went through a lot of different things, but I pray that it transformed your life. If you have any questions, you are always welcome to reach out to me on any of the platforms you're watching this or listening to this, or on any of my socials. And no, I'll leave that for another time. But I want to finish off by saying that now that you know where you're going, understanding how to get there and what's going to keep you on the straight and narrow is so important, and that's your purpose. In Her Image is all about identity. Who you are matters. That is the foundation of all things. And if you live there for quite some time, that's okay, because I want you to understand who you are, because the reality is you're never going to really see the full vision until you know who you are. You're never really going to understand your purpose until you know who you are. And you're not going to know who you are unless you know who God is. It's all connected. That's what Inner Image is about. And this is what I try to share with you. Next year, I'm going to be focusing more on purpose, helping you uncover your purpose, because your purpose is already there. You don't need to figure it out. You don't need to create it. You don't need to muster it. It's there. And I know how to uncover it for you. We're going to start off in November 6th through 8th. I have an in-person retreat. It's maxed at 18 people because 19 and 20 is me and my daughter. It's going to be in Palm Coast, Florida, in person, $179 right now if you sign up before September. Right? Before September, yes. We have a few spots left. It includes food. It's Friday evening, all day Saturday. Guys, this is not I'm just going to come and chill. Listen, we're going to be at a place. It's going to have a pool. It's going to have a hot tub. You're going to be able to enjoy yourself. But it's going to be intense, and it's going to be long. It's going to be a long night Friday. It's going to be a long day Saturday. But we're going to be on this journey together, and I'm going to walk you through it. And by the end of that weekend, and we have optional on Sunday, by the way. So if you're traveling in, trust me, I will make sure you maximize your weekend because you're going to be in Florida. Hey, let's enjoy ourselves. We're going to fellowship, get to know each other. By the end of the weekend, you will have developed your own unique personal purpose statement. What is this? This is your compass. This is what you're going to wake up every day and you're going to do. You've always had this purpose, and you will always have this purpose. This is your driving force. This is what's going to keep you on the straight and narrow. This is what's going to help you determine what to say yes to versus what to say no to. Okay? This is your compass. But not only that, you will also walk away with clear actions and strategies that are going to help you live your purpose so that you can get to your vision, so you can get to your heaven on earth. And honestly, my prayer is that by the end of the weekend, you are already living your heaven on earth. You are already in your utopia, because the reality is you are already there right now. You may not see it. You may not know how, but this is where I come in, because I can teach you how. I have no doubt about it. So that's what you're going to get that weekend. Then we have a powerful prophetic activation that evening. And I just know you're going to leave transformed, life changed. And not only that, your life creates a ripple. What you went through today and you will go through at the retreat will change your life in such a way that you will change every single life you come in contact with. You know how powerful that is? And you are empowered to teach and share what I teach and share with you. I don't hold my message and my teaching hostage. I'm not going to hide behind a copyright. You are welcome to share my message because it is not mine. It belongs to God. Everything I teach is in the Bible. I do not have copyrights to the Bible. Give and you will receive. Give and you will receive. I hope that you can make the effort and the investment to join me November 6th through 8th. If you have any questions, let me know. You can go to andreajohn.com/2026 retreat to get information and to register. Do not wait. My retreats always sell out every single year. And there are those that wait till last minute, then I have to turn you away. So just make sure that you're here, because I'm telling you, there is something so powerful about being together in the same room with like-minded people who are in the same journey as you. It is absolutely transformational. The other thing I want to let you know is I'm working on my next book called Made for More. Everything I'm teaching at the retreat will be in that book. I'm working on the In Her Image app. I'm working on the Ripple app. Like, there's a lot of things that I am working on so that I can bring you as much information. Listen, it's not just 10 years in the making. This is a lifetime of walking with God, ups and downs, roller coaster rides, walking through hell, running through hell, hiding in hell, walking through and experiencing what life looks like when you live heaven on earth. And even walking through hell, you are a walking heaven because you are in God and He is in you, and understanding how to walk through hell while still experiencing peace and joy. I have done all of it. I have lived all of it. I just didn't have the words. I didn't know how to explain it. So that's what I've been working on all these years. And I'm so excited that now that I'm kind of on the other side, I'm able to share all of this with you so freely. It's just an amazing feeling when you finally have your vision, you understand your purpose, you know who you are. And I've recently found the vehicle or the vehicles that get me there. And I'm going to help. I'm going to share all of it with you guys. Listen, I'm not holding anything close to the vest anymore. I'm going to share it all with you because I want you to experience heaven on earth, because Jesus said, heaven is here. Heaven is here. Are we going to heaven after death? Yes. But living heaven in heaven doesn't start then. It starts now. The moment Jesus comes into your life, Holy Spirit abides in you, you get to experience heaven. And I love living heaven on earth because I feel like being a human is a superpower where you can access the supernatural in the natural, and it all works together and it's not separate, it's one. It's so powerful, so incredibly powerful. And I want you all to experience it. Maybe you're experiencing it now. That's amazing. Listen, share it with my ladies. Share it. Let us know, how are you doing it? How are you accomplishing it? How does it help you when you've gone through trials? What helped you overcome? What helped you live heaven on earth while walking through hell? I don't have all the answers. My life experiences are mine. Other people have theirs. You have yours. Listen, here you are. Here you are. How have you made it this far? Sure, maybe it wasn't beautiful. It wasn't like sunshine and rainbows. Maybe it was a little messy. Listen, mine was super, super messy. Super messy, like Pigpen kind of messy. But I live to tell the story, and I love to tell the story because it's not about me, it's about him. And I know that that's what you want in your life. It's not about you, it's about him. Everything points to him. But when we have clarity, when we know who we are, we understand our purpose, and we have our vision, you live with such intention. It doesn't matter the obstacle that's in your way. You look at it and you laugh at it. What does it say in Proverbs 25? She laughs without fear of the future. We look at obstacles and we laugh. Are you serious? Do you really think you're going to get me to doubt my God? Heck no. No way in this world. Seen too much, gone through too much, trust too much, believe too much, know too much. You can't do it. You can try and wear me down all you want, but I know where my rest comes from. Do you know where your rest comes from? I know you know where it comes from. I know, easier said than done. I know. But ladies, this is powerful stuff. This is powerful living. You are a powerful woman. Are you ready? I mean, let's lock hands. We're going to that next mountaintop. We're doing it together. We're going to enjoy it. But then we're not staying up there, because we're going to come down and we're going to get others and we're going to bring them up with us. Glory to glory. Every mountaintop is better than the one before. Are you ready? You have that vision. It's going to carry you. Keep focusing on it. Next week, we have Kamaya Jackson, who's going to come on the podcast. She's going to talk to us about care. I am so excited. She is a mompreneur. She is an amazing mother, an amazing wife, an amazing woman. She is powerful. She is creative. She is one person that, like, she's going to put fire in your soul. She is authentic, genuine, just a beautiful, beautiful woman. I cannot wait for you to meet her. That's what we have in store for next week. See you then. In the meantime, reach out. I'd love to get to know you. This is a community, not a one-way street, two-way street. Reach out, introduce yourself, and I cannot wait to see you next week. Bye.